is it only in my town that people struggle with too many things to do? That people have too many things on their plate, that they don't have direction and wonder about their life purpose. And on top of all of that, then sometimes a person comes, your teenage child, and says, "Hey Dad, get a life, man," or "Mom, get a life." Hi, I'm Gustav Gous, life coach for leaders and motivational speaker. I've helped many people on many continents to have a life while making a living. Actually, I challenge people to get a life. Now, here's the story. Many years ago, 10 plus years ago, I also felt that I had too many things on my plate. I felt like a chameleon in a Smartie box, what to touch, what not to touch. And then on the good advice of a good friend of mine, I went to sit down and actually plot out my whole life in one big life plan. It gave me the greatest peace, it gave me the direction, it gave me structure, and out of that grew a life map which I present to people how to get a life. On the other part of the world, a good colleague of mine, my co-author of the Get a Life in 40 Days Through 7 Strategic Questions program, Schneeberger, he started his own business, developed a fantastic business through goal setting, and became also the master in time management systems and diaries. And we decided to throw all of it together to help you to get a life. And here is the solution, the Get a Life in 40 Days Through 7 Strategic Questions. It is a structured process through 40 days where you can work through it in order to restructure your life. Because if you only continue with the same life, you will continue with the same happiness rating. And therefore, it is very important to restructure your life. The best way to do it is you can work it on your own, the book on your own. But it is also better to start it off with a one-day workshop, and then that you get sort of an impetus, and then from there on start the 40-day journey. You can do it as an individual, you can do it in person, in cell groups, in business groups, in executive team groups. This is the program to get a life while making a living, to assure work-life balance and to make sure that you really have a life. You know, some of my clients, the youngest who attended this was 14 years old, the oldest 82 years old, the majority of people in between. The youngest told me, sent me an email the other day. She said, "I committed to pass my degree cum laude at that specific university." And she sent me an email. I almost burst into tears when she said, "I achieved my goal. Thank you for helping with this." The oldest person was a bit mocked by some people who attended. They said, "Sir, 82 years old, get a life, attend a life planning workshop." You know what the person said? He said, "Hey, if you've got so little time left, you must plan it well." And you know, the majority of people in between, whether you're on the verge of retirement, so many people I've helped, so many people in the mid of their careers, I help them to make the mid-career changes they needed. I help them to take their businesses and their own lives to the next level. Now, what is uniquely different about this program? What is uniquely different, there are many 40-day programs, but they only focus on one aspect of your life, your spiritual life, or just finding purpose, or just the financial aspect of your life. This is unique in that it focuses on all aspects of life. The second thing is, so many programs stop at day 40. Now what about day 41? Day 41 is the rest of the journal. It is the journal where you actually implement. It's about GPS, goals, priorities, and scheduling. And therefore, it is an 80-page plan connected to a diary, which you can use as a journal, which you can use as a minute book, which you can use in so many ways. And this is not only the replanning of your life, but also the implementation plan of your life. Then further on, what about the question aspect? We said, why get a life? Because so few people have it. Why 40 days? Because Rome wasn't built in one day. You must have a practical, long-term redesign and implementation plan. But why 7 questions? This is the unique thing, because so many programs try to give you the answer. But you know, if you give a person the answer, you pacify a person. But if you give the person the right questions, then you activate them. We developed the 7 great questions, and you can test it. Are they good questions? They will cue you where to redesign your life. And therefore, we also designed not icons, but guess what? Cue cons, to cue your life in the right direction. The last differentiating factor is that so many of these 40-day programs people use just for themselves. But then they become like the Dead Sea, only with an inflow and not with an outflow. This is a 40-day challenge that I challenge you to do the 40-day challenge. But I ask of you to get an outflow and that you give other people the 40-day challenge. And guess what? To help them also to get a life. Go to your friends and say, "Get a life, man." And you say, "How?" You say, "Let me show you. There's a 40-day program through 7 strategic questions." So what now? What now? The first thing you have to do is you must realize If I continue to do what I do and I continue to think what I think, I will continue to have what I have. But if I think differently and act differently, then things will be different. So take action. The world rewards action. And take action and enroll for the first one-day workshop, or get yourself a copy of that book if you sit in a faraway place, and then work through the 40-day program. We will either contact you or you contact us, and the particulars will be on the website and the screen. Thank you. See you on the next workshop. Get alive.